UBC, inspiring Uganda. Up next on UBC, brought to you by
Airtel. Download Airtel TV to watch and support Ugandan talent on The Voice Africa every Sunday at 8 p.m.
Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Let's take a look at the headlines. Envoy discuss regional priorities. UTCL transforms to drive digital access, while digital transformation roadmap unveiled. And parents launch a mobilization effort against homosexuality. Hello once again. President Yoweri Museveni has advised youth leaders to engage in wealth creation activities to enhance their livelihoods. The president made the statements on August 16th during a meeting with National Youth Council leaders led by their chairperson Jacob Eyeru at State House Entebbe. Now, the president elaborated that the National Resistance Movement, the National Resistance Army was able to successfully fight and triumph in the prolonged war 1981 to 86 due to their robust foundation in wealth creation.
Thank you and request. Heroes welcome, and I hope by the time he lives here, he will live with the same heroes.
Say that we are able to meet you, starting with this leadership. You after your speech. Oh, my brother from UNSA. Please come.
Where? In wealth creation. Don't be taken up by leadership. I'm a leader. Okay, leadership is also a service. You are providing a service, but a service based on people electing you. Which means they may elect you one day, they will not elect you another. They will not elect you another time. So what will you do? No recho temugumarira mubukulembeze okugumara. To be diverted. I'm a leader. Yes, leader. As a leader, mbayambako. Mwabana Uganda mwali nebizibu bingi ensi yali ebalemye wano. Fe abayekera ne tuvaayo ne tugamba nti kati bakwatireko kati bayambeko tutereeze ensi. So we are volunteer service. It's like a volunteer service. But I need to go back. What I was saying in Uganda was that freedom fighters were volunteers to stabilize the country, which was unstable. As you can see what's happening in the whole of Africa, you can imagine what's happening in all these countries.
Meanwhile, President Museveni has today presided over the swearing-in of 11 newly appointed High Court judges at State House Entebbe. The president congratulated the new judges and advised them to be transparent if they want to sustain their career. The president also assured the judiciary that their target to get enough manpower to ensure justice for all Ugandans will be achieved. The newly appointed judges include Justice Nabakoza Flavia, Justice Mwaka Philip, Justice Kwizera Amos, Justice Makumbi David, Justice Dr. Akelo Christine, Justice Karemani Jameson, Justice Jacqueline Mondoha, Justice Naluze Aisha Vatala, Justice Kania Rosette Comfort, Justice Rubagumya Tumusime Patience, and Justice Lubega Farouk.
The judiciary does it, the executive eliminates this corruption wherever it is among the civil servants and also the political class and the legislature, because sometimes those committees of parliament also have their own problems. Then your country is going to gallop. It's going to develop very fast because really the private sector is flooding in. They are coming. You can see them here. All of them, Ugandans, Indians, Chinese, Middle Eastern people, the Arabs. They are all coming. So I would want us that we apart from our specialized areas of legal and all that, but it's good to have a global viewpoint of the economy and the society and the recovery, which I talked about, the growth and the transformation.
Your Excellency, I stand here first and foremost to hail you for strengthening the judiciary of Uganda by giving us 11 well-deserving manpower, the new judges who have taken oath.
The National Planning Authority has been directed to integrate the Uganda Digital Transformation Roadmap 2023-27 into the National Development Plan 4 being developed, and all government ministries to embrace it for Uganda to match the timelines of digital transformation. At the launch of the Digital Transformation Roadmap in Kampala, the Vice President, Jessica Alupo, expressed confidence that this roadmap will address pressing issues of youth unemployment.
The Ministry of Information, Communication Technology and National Guidance has managed to put in place a national backbone infrastructure for internet, cut down on internet costs, unveiled a new plant for UTL, and in collaboration with telecom companies launched 5G network. This is meant to increase access to internet by the population and also improve ICT services. The ministry plans to integrate ICT to ensure it becomes part in the lives of people and what they do for effectiveness and efficiency. It has unveiled a Ugandan digital transformation roadmap that focuses on 5 pillars to monitor performance for implementation in the next 5 years.
All right. There you go. Can we give the round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? The digital transformation roadmap has been unveiled.
While unveiling the digital transformation roadmap, the Vice President, Major Jessica Alupo, said it is an integral component of Uganda's national vision and government looks at it as one which will help address the issue of youth unemployment.
It fills me with immense confidence and optimism that our roadmap addresses not only the most recent technological advancements but also the pressing issue of youth unemployment. By leveraging on the power of ICT and innovation, we intend to create new opportunities, encourage entrepreneurship, and most importantly, provide our youth with the jobs and opportunities they deserve.
A number of Ugandans have embraced the digital and technological revolution that goes on in the world, and this roadmap will help it catch up with the forthcoming industrial revolution. Emphasis is being put on digital infrastructure and connectivity.
Digital infrastructure and connectivity. We have to ensure that as we implement this roadmap, we connect the whole country from corner to corner. And we have already lined up a number of projects and programs, including laying the national backbone infrastructure to extend it to cover the entire country. So far, we have covered 53 countries and would want to cover the rest of the country, including doing last mile connections to cover health centers, schools, sub-counties, and all the government infrastructure.
The education system must evolve where technology is evolving in unprecedented space, and digital literacy is essential for career development. Achieving the human capital development aspect of the roadmap require collective efforts.
Teachers are at the forefront of this transformation, and I commend their dedication and passion in adapting to new teaching methodologies and integrating technology into the classroom. We must also engage with the private sector to align our educational efforts as a nation with the dynamic job market needs, ensuring that our students are well prepared to meet the local and international job demands.
This roadmap, if implemented successfully, will strengthen Uganda's service delivery, enhance business competitiveness, accelerate socio-economic transformation, build resilience to shocks, and achieve inclusive and sustainable growth.
Halving the cost of the internet, which is great. It is an incentive mechanism. It allows more people to be able to use internet, whether for trade, for business, for e-services. I bought a few things recently, even myself on Instagram, which means that there's e-commerce happening, and therefore if we can facilitate and provide incentives to many actors who can be able to use their mobile phones for many things, including market women that we are supporting as UNDP, for example, the investment in connectivity, for example. We cannot have people who can access information on the phone, and so that
the roadmap is also anchored on a pillar of digital services, cybersecurity, data protection and privacy, digital skills and innovation and entrepreneurship. I'm Nafka Farida and Juman Samba in Kampala.
A nationwide parent mobilization effort program which aims to counteract instances of homosexuality within the country has been launched in Kampala. The initiative is aimed at addressing possible related homosexuality cases in the country.
The World Bank recently delivered a statement announcing the termination of its financial support to Uganda following the passing of the anti-homosexuality bill into a law.
We should put sanctions on people who are marrying their cousins.
The statement presented in parts emphasized that Uganda's enactment of the Anti-Homosexuality Act fundamentally contradicts the banker's values. The banker's focus remains on eradicating poverty within a society that respects the values, gender, and sexuality of all individuals. The pronouncement has elicited diverse reactions from the public. In response, the Family Life Network has initiated the nationwide Parents Mobilization Effort Program aimed at educating parents about the dangers of homosexuality for their children and the society at large.
And we are going to encourage them to make their voices clearly heard in Uganda.
A key advocate of this initiative, Stephen Langa, says that combating immoral behaviors in the nation necessitates a collective endeavor.
Governments and organizations everywhere cherish family, moral, cultural, and religious values. To rise up and take a stand against this evil, destructive vice of homosexuality, disguised as human rights. It is a national security matter which must be resisted and defeated.
Stakeholders of this program emphasize that while laws have been enacted, public awareness and understanding these laws are vital.
This issue is fighting not only generations, but it is fighting a family backbone. Why impose it on people? Why impose it in people's cultures? Why not respect our culture? Why not respect our rights? Why go down table and you take it in schools? Why promote it?
Various speakers further expressed their perspectives on the newly launched program.
We have children to teach the good morals, and we have the opportunity to make sure that our children are not attacked by this evil.
The Anti-Homosexuality Act of 2023 legislation introduces stringent penalties for certain forms of homosexuality conduct, among others provisions. Responding to the World Bank's statement, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni affirmed Uganda's progress will persist, regardless of financial assistance from the World Bank. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabugudde, UBC News.
The lack of funds by the Judiciary and the Director of Public Prosecution's Office has stalled the hearing of Susan Magara's case. This was disclosed at High Court Criminal Division before Judge Alex Ajiji when the court had resumed to start the hearing of the case. The cashier, Susan Magara, was kidnapped and later murdered around Chigo and Tebe Expressway on the 7th of February 2018.
Over 10 suspects, among others, Muhammad Kasali Ita, Yusuf Lubega, Muzamilu Sali, Hussein Waswa, Hajara Nakandi, Abubeka Kawoya, Hassan Katomiro, Ismail Bukenya, and Abbas Buvumbo, accusing the murder case of a cashier, Susan Magara. The case in High Court Criminal Division in Kampala is presided over by Judge Alex Ajiji. Prosecution, represented by Irene Nachimbugwe, asked court to adjourn the case, and since they haven't done disclosures to the defense legal team, Judge Alex Ajiji said, since this case is a complicated one, it requires a special session and lawyers for the suspects, at least one lawyer for 2 suspects, adding that court will also increase on the number of assessors from 2 to 4 in this case. During the proceedings, one of the suspects, Hajara Nakandi, raised the concern over someone pretending to be her husband, who normally calls her while in prison, asking her to plead guilty in this case. Chisalita Mahadi, also a suspect in this matter, asked the court for disclosures from prosecution. Judge Alex Ajiji adjourned the case to 16th October 2023 for mention, and the accused were further remanded to Roseland Chigo prison. A cashier, Susan Magara, was kidnapped and later murdered around Chigo and Tebe Expressway on 7th February 2018, and her body was later dumped. Deborah Namamonde, Nantongo Rebecca, UBC News.
The Minister of State for the Elderly, Dominique Kidudu Mafabi, has warned local government leaders who do not ensure compliance to labor laws. This was during a one-day training by Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, local government leaders and labour inspectors from Eastern Uganda held in Bale on NSF compliance process, where he was representing his senior minister, Betty Amongi.
And we must work hard. And that's one of the reasons why we called all these leaders at the district. You see, the labor officers who enforce inspection and laws belong to the district. And we are emphasizing to these leaders, the RCC, the RDCs, the LOC5 chairmen, and the cows, that please come up, love your country, ensure that there's no corruption within the factories. Whoever is employing should pay the 10%. The employee should pay 5%. And once we enforce, the overall percentage of social security fund will go up.
So I think the thing which comes up strongly for me yesterday and today is the fact that more and more Ugandans are appreciating the need for making savings as a way of securing their future. I was very happy to see the district leadership being very supportive of mobilizing themselves and other Ugandans to save for their future. I think that's a very positive thing.
We have managed life without the World Bank. Uganda can also manage life without World Bank. It is being frugal. It's using the resources we have. is making the right priorities like we have done with the parish development model. You know, government gave you four priorities. Priority number 1 is the parish development model. Priority number 2 is enhancing salaries of scientists. And priority number 3 is, of course, our oil. Actually, there are 3 priorities. So.
And refugees in Rhino Camp settlement are calling for more humanitarian intervention as the impact of food prioritization policy by United Nations World Food Programme proves adversely to many of them. The needs-based approach prioritizes food assistance to the most vulnerable refugees, including new arrivals.
As phase 3 of food prioritization policy by the World Food Programme kicked off by the first quarter in July, as a result of funding challenges, many refugees in a Rhino camp are now forced to eat once in a day.
Now currently we eat once in a day because things are really hard. Now you will eat in the evening just to sleep.
This prioritization exercise ensures that the most vulnerable refugees and new arrivals receive the highest recommended rations while winning the least vulnerable and self-reliant households of the monthly general food assistance. Sebi Samuel is a person living with a disability who has been categorized under Group 2 who thinks of taking risk by going back to South Sudan because of food challenges.
If possible, I'm just appeal to some of the organization and the World Food Programme to bring all those persons with disabilities back to Group 1s. They cannot even able to support themselves. Some of us, when they are going to, they are going either to die, and otherwise, if our country could be better, I will just go there because I have a plot, I have a house.
Mary Dusman is a woman taking care of 15 people who say they eat once in a day now.
It has really affected me because I have a number of children and this 220 cannot do anything.
Refugees have considered agriculture as the last option in fending for food, which this time has been affected by prolonged dry spell in Rhino Camp settlement. Mary Dusman and Isaac Noah decided to use part of their money from WFP to hire land for cultivation.
You have to excuse something little, you hire a land. This year it's really full of disasters. No rain. First season we have not harvested anything. Second season nothing. And even we paid that money that we hired with the land just for nothing.
There is no way what to do. We try to dig and you have seen the weather also, the weather condition.
Individual person is getting 14,000 per month. So you can talk to the host community and decide that this 10,000 I will take to the host community to let him fill me with some piece of land.
Hakim Kwenyo, the Refugee Welfare Council 1 for Ariwa village in Rhino Camp settlement, is now requesting partners to indulge in establishment of irrigation schemes in the settlement in order to avert adverse impact of the prolonged sunshine on farming.
People could supplement the little food by engaging into farming and then they produce much more food. If there's some way where the partners involved in livelihood could promote innovations or techniques that could reserve water.
The Media and Communications Coordinator at Norwegian Refugee Council, Diction Odur, suggests urgent donor intervention through livelihood programs as a solution to feeding challenges encountered by refugees in Uganda.
Many communities and individuals are taking up negative coping mechanisms as a way to mitigate the situation that they're finding themselves in. Cases you're hearing of theft, but programs that promote self-sustenance, programs in areas such as livelihoods, in areas such as protection, are very core in seeing to it that refugees get to depend on themselves. So it's really a call to the donor community to prioritize equitable and sustained funding.
Rhino Camp Settlement Commandant Amitaj Basekania says the food prioritization initiative has found many refugees unprepared for what they are experiencing now and calls for more intervention by partners in livelihood projects.
And as I talk right now, the people seated at the reception, they have come to complain over the same. They have found themselves either out of the food ration category, that is category 3, others from 1 to 2, from 2 to 3. They were not prepared before that this would happen. We feel whatever partners are coming on board should include in the issue of livelihoods for the self-reliance of refugees.
In the current cash-based assistance, most vulnerable people fall under Group 1, moderately vulnerable under Group 2, and those under Group 3 are considered to be less vulnerable, who are weaned from food rations. Joseph Odamam, UBC News.
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Phone battery full.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Capote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Capote deal this Christmas and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Capote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Uganda's oil and gas projects are providing opportunities for international certification and employment in various disciplines. 12,000 Ugandans have received global oil industry training and international certification in welding, heavy goods vehicle driving, and scaffolding, among others. 6 public and private institutions have received international accreditation and certification from industry bodies such as City and Guilds, ECITB, OPITO, AWS, and NEBOSH. 250 government officers from various ministries and agencies have trained in oil and gas-related disciplines such as petroleum engineering, geosciences, law and economics. 71,300 Ugandans are currently employed in the sector. The National Oil and Gas Talent Register provides visibility to Ugandans with skills and competencies for possible employment in the oil and gas sector. Registration is free. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Dear Airtel customer, we know that there are days when unexpected stays in hospital stand in the way of your family's welfare. That is why Hospital Center is here to give you up to 100,000 shillings every night you spend in hospital. Hospital Center also offers up to 4 million in funeral benefit. Dial star 185 star 7 star 6 hash to purchase Hospital Center on Airtel Money for as little as 1,000, 3,000 or 5,000 shillings a month. Your cover for the first 1 month is free. Hospital Center is underwritten by Prudential and powered by Turaco. Prudential and Turaco are regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. Airtel Money is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
The Entebbe Acholi Development Association would like to invite all members of the Entebbe community for the association's official launch, which will be held on 19th August 2023 at the Fisheries Training Institute in Bugonga, starting at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be lots of activities such as exhibitions, cultural dances and speeches from extinguished guests. Come all and celebrate together with us. There is unity in strength. We eagerly anticipate your presence and enthusiasm on this special day. Let's make this event a memorable one. Warm regards from Achayo Consolata, the chairperson in Entebbe Acholi Development Association.
back. You are still watching News Tonight. In business news, the Bank of Uganda is considering coining the 1,000 note denomination. According to Michael Atingego, the acting governor, coining the 1,000 shilling note is geared at saving government money through printing of the lower denomination that is prone to fast mutilation. Let's get to see more.
Because of the durability of the of the coin compared to the paper notes, these lower denomination notes are used by the people at the bottom of the pyramid, so the frequency of usage is quite high. It rarely comes back to the banking system. By the time it comes back to the banking system, is mutilated and what have you. So you find that the replacement ratio of these notes is very, very high and therefore expensive. Whatever you deposit into a commercial bank and is later on brought to Bank of Uganda, most of it ends up as being cancelled, and yet printing of the currency notes is the cost of printing is very high. So we believe that coining might offer a better solution than the continued printing of the paper notes. So I'm not very conversant with the timetable for that, but I think the plan is just to coin the 1,000 as a cost reduction measure.
After the policy is approved, then you start the process, the procurement process, the design ZTC, which will take a while. So I don't think we have a timeline at the moment, as analysts came out recent, but at least in my understanding that we're just starting the process.
And the growing apprehensions surrounds the degradation of biodiversity in highland regions, leading to exacerbated soil erosion and leaving many inhabitants in the state of food insecurity and poverty. Recognizing this precarious situation, the Dutch Embassy in Uganda has joined forces with Ministries of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, and Water and Environment. This partnership aims at bolstering the resilience of farming communities within the watersheds of Rwenzori, Kigezi and Elgon Highlands.
The ongoing environmental degradation in Uganda's highland communities has resulted in widespread impoverishment and food scarcity. This trend is primarily attributed to population pressure compounded by inadequate land management practices, resulting in soil erosion and depletion. Notably, regions encompassing Kigezi Highlands, Elgon and Rwenzori have been targeted for intervention through the joint initiative known as the Bright and Common Ground projects, with support from the Netherlands government.
Very much that as the major agricultural production comes from smallholders in Uganda, we believe that through working with them, looking at their priorities, looking at their opportunities, we think that we can build activities that really address their needs. And with the both two programs, we see that their needs are mainly in sustainable land use.
The Environment Resilient Farms and Watershed project is spearheaded by the Integrated Seed Sector Development Uganda in conjunction with the International Fertilizer Development Center, NARA Uganda, and the Ministry of Water and Environment. The Acting Commissioner of Agriculture, Information and Communications, Consolata Ochayo, says Uganda's agricultural challenges stem largely from insufficient farmer extension services, contributing to the sector's lackluster performance.
But that alone is also not enough, considering the structure of our farming system. That means what we need now more also than ever is organizing farmers. If we have our farmers organized, it is easier because within the cooperatives there are many farmers that come in together. So that makes it much easier for an extension worker to get through our farmers and other stakeholders through the cooperatives So this is a big challenge that we need to refocus on. And in that way, we will be able to address quite a number of challenges that is in our line. The challenge of the market will be addressed.
Lucy Riango, Acting Commissioner of Wetland Management at the Ministry of Water and Environment, expresses concern over deteriorating water catchment areas and the unsustainable practices of communities relocating to more fertile lands.
And I just want to emphasize that as government, as the Ministry of Water and Environment, we are promoting restoration of these fragile ecosystems, whether they are forests, whether they are rangelands, whether they are wetlands. We are promoting that and we'll join hands to do that.
The BRIGHT project endeavors to bolster the resilience of 106,560 highland farm households across Kigezi, Elgon and Rwenzori.
Targeting 50,000 households in each region, so 150,000 households in total. We focus on the upslope areas because that's where we have the most severe environmental problems. It's also because if we can reduce erosion up there, it has very positive effects downstream where we get all the flash floods and so on.
The BRIGHT project emerges as a beacon of resilience for over 100,000 highland farm households.
The unique thing about BRIGHT is that it is bringing on board a holistic approach. And a holistic approach, I mean that we are looking at households in all aspects. Can a household conserve the soils that they are having?
With the compounded challenges of climate change and population pressure disproportionately affecting arable settlements, the magnitude of the task ahead is undeniable. Concerted efforts are imperative to uplift the vulnerable highland communities. I'm Navka Farida and Setumba Douglas.
In a quest to raise more funds for Uganda's wildlife conservation sector, Uganda Wildlife Authority has introduced the My Gorilla Family application, where subscribers will be able to access daily gorilla excursions and track family migrations at the click of their cell phones. Dr. Monica Musenero, Minister for Science and Technology, says the My Gorilla app introduced by Uganda Wildlife Authority will bring closer science and innovation to nature.
This Tech Meets Conservation strategy, developed by the House of Gorilla Initiative, leverages technology to create sustainable sources of non-tracking revenues to fund conservation.
How about us looking at development in terms of conserving nature? And I appreciate this application and this initiative, which is now bringing technology into conservation. It's a very, very unique that we will reduce, if we take this up, we're going to reduce damage and enhance conservation.
The ED Uganda Wildlife Authority, Sam Mwanda, says this mountain gorilla app is part of the efforts to market mountain gorillas worldwide in order to get enough revenue to support Uganda's wildlife sector. This developed application is a public-private partnership between UWA and the House of Gorilla Initiative.
So what is informing us now is, can we find other means in which to raise revenue that can then be utilized into putting into conservation, into the research, into ensuring that the mountain gorillas, the elephants, the rhinos, and even the small duikers in our protected areas can continue to exist.
The CEO Uganda Tourism Board, Lily Ajarova, says that the mountain gorilla application demonstrates Uganda's commitment to keep up with global trends in tourism marketing.
And the mountain gorillas is one of the premium products that we offer. So My Gorilla app is basically keeping up with the trends of marketing globally. The world has gone digital. We can't remain behind. So it's really about using technology to reach out to the world to present the various tourism products that Uganda has.
A member of the team that developed the My Gorilla app, David Gonhasa says cameras are stationed in forests to capture the data needed to consistently feed information on the application.
We are looking as an institution to raise funding because it's expensive to build such applications. It's expensive to put cameras in the forest that are running on a daily basis. It's expensive to be able to get, move this content from Bwindi to Kampala, create the videos, upload them onto the application. It's a very expensive process.
Uganda is home to half of the world's remaining population of the iconic mountain gorillas. This developed app showcases humanity's dedication to saving endangered species and its habitat. Crispus Arinatwe, Joshua Kagoro, UBC News.
And Uganda's leading telecom company, MTN Uganda, is determined to improve many of its services to better deliver to its clientele. Though its focus is on all the products, more effort is now on the mobile money application that many Ugandans use on a daily.
Orange, pineapple, banana.
MTN Uganda has launched its third MTN Mobile Money Hackathon 2023. This will require web developers and entrepreneurs across Africa to use their skills to create innovative digital financial applications to accelerate financial inclusion and digitizing payments for better service. A hackathon is an event in which a large number of people meet to engage in collaborative computer programming. This hackathon is open to the public, but importantly young innovators, whose best will win 18 million Uganda shillings, while first and second runners-up will take 10 and 7 million shillings respectively.
MTN is here to hold you from zero to hero. So we play a sort of mentorship role, and like I hinted earlier, this year we are providing a bigger and bigger mentorship program for the winners and also people within the hackathon who will have good ideas. So we'll handhold them, guide them basically from building the tech in partnership with Outbox, for example, who are tech incubator, guide them until they actually integrate and see their products in the mass market. So they own their ideas 100%, we are only enablers. We're calling so many female developers to come along, come and learn the tech, come and be the drivers of the next generation, and let us revolutionize payments within Uganda and Africa as a whole. The goal is basically to drive financial inclusion and also to achieve our ambition 2025, which speaks to everyone deserving the benefit of a modern connected life.
Mobile money services in Uganda started in 2009 with MTN at the helm and have witnessed gradual improvements that MTN still believes are lacking key ingredients to enable enhanced economic and social well-being of Ugandans. John Barnes, Sentamo, UBC News.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Granny.
What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Friday, I went on a science trip with my classmates to Bwindi to see the gorillas. Then, we watched the cup final in London.
Oh.
On Saturday, my friends and I met up to hunt some dragons. Again. Also, I taught the vacuum cleaner and the TV this new dance everyone's doing. They're really getting into it. And on Sunday, I went to bed watching the world from space. And you? Yes, seriously, Granny.
With Airtel 5G's lightning-fast speeds and seamless connectivity, you won't believe what's next.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Molt Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
Up Upgrade your lifestyle with the all-new entry-loaded Chillax voice bundles. Now, call all networks in Uganda with Chillax voice bundles. Call all networks. No expiry, no worries. Dial *100 *1# and select call all networks. Airtel, a reason to imagine.
The Entebbe Acholi Development Association would like to invite all members of the Entebbe community for the association's official launch, which will be held on 19th August 2023 at the Fisheries Training Institute in Bugonga, starting at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be lots of activities such as exhibitions, cultural dances and speeches from extinguished guests. Come all and celebrate together with us. There is unity in strength. We eagerly anticipate your presence and enthusiasm on this special day. Let's make this event a memorable one. Warm regards from Achayo Consolata, the chairperson, Entebbe Acholi Development Association.
In the world of sports, Vihiga Queens FC from Kenya and JKT Queens of Tanzania are through to the semi-finals of the ongoing CAF Women's Champions League Sikafa Zone qualifiers following their victories on Wednesday. The two teams came into match day 2 having won their first group games, and victory meant they would secure knockout slots. Coincidentally, both won with an identical result of 1-0, with Vihiga Queens edging AS Kigali FC, while JKT Queens defeating New Generation FC from Zanzibar. Both games were played at the NTN Omondi Stadium, with Esther Mabanza scoring for Tanzania and Bertha Omita for Kenya. The two will face off on Saturday to determine who ends as the group leader. And Uganda Cricket Association has named a 14-man squad to represent the country in the second edition of the East Africa T20 Cup. The tournament is slated for the 29th till the 31st of August in Kigali, Rwanda.
The Cricket Crane squad that will represent Uganda at the East Africa T20 Tournament 2023 features debutant David Wawire and 7 other players that made it for the Namibia tour earlier this year. Jonathan Sebanja, Ronak Patel, Roger Mkasa, Nsubuga Siraji, siblings Henry Senyondo and Simon Sesazi make a return to the team after missing out on the Namibia tour. The national crony Frank Nsubuga and Robinson Obuya have been dropped from the squad, whereas Riazat Alisha misses out because of an injury.
I'm hoping that once we get on the bus to Rwanda, we can focus and really tune into playing. We have to be ready. It's part of our process, it's part of our job, and hopefully we can put the performances out there.
The three-nation event will feature Uganda, Tanzania and host Rwanda, with the team competing in a round-robin T20 format games. The top side after the games will be declared winners. Uganda won this tournament last year in December and is confident on defending the title this time around. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
That does it for news tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. We'll leave you with the weather update.
Update, we are having light thunder showers dominating most parts of the country, but across lake shores mainly and the southwestern of our country. Seeing the satellite picture, we're having a rainbow zoning the western sector of our country, including the local effects. That's what brings us in the rainfall that we are receiving lately. Tomorrow morning, though, we expect to wake up with thunder showers in most parts of the central. By in the eastern sector, we are expected to have sunny intervals across the road, but the rest to wake up with light showers, and the western stretch with light showers across some parts of Kasese and Masindi, but the rest to have sunny intervals. Northern sector, we're having light showers dominating most parts of the Gulu, Chitugum and some parts of the Lila, but the Karamoja regions expected to have sunny intervals. Afternoon hours, we are seeing a pickup of thunder showers still dominating the central part of our country at a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius across Nakasongola, but the rest with 27 degrees Celsius. In the eastern part, we are having 31 degrees Celsius across Soweto with sunny intervals, but the rest with thunder showers at maximum 28 degrees Celsius. The western stretch, we are having a 28 maximum of Masindi with thunder showers, and some parts of Mbarara, Kasese with sunny intervals at maximum 33 degrees Celsius, and Kabale with sunny intervals still with 26 degrees Celsius. Moving to the north, we are continuing with light showers dominating most parts of Chitugumugulu and Alua, but Lila we are seeing sunny intervals, and Karamoja region with sunny intervals at maximum 33 degrees Celsius, and others with 32 degrees Celsius. It's moving out of Uganda to the few cities across the globe, forecasting sunny intervals across New York with a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius, and sunny conditions with Dubai and Kyle at a maximum of 40 degrees Celsius and 36 across Kyle. Paris and Hong Kong with cloudy conditions at a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. Thanks for tuning on UBC. I remain Kutesa Millie. Stay tuned and we'll see you.